Hi there, Doug Lindsey here with 10 slides in 10 minutes. Your financial questions answered in 10 minutes or less. When we start talking with our clients about claiming Social Security, they often mention a worry that Social Security is running out of money or that the rules might change during their retirement. Should you rely on this benefit? We're not allowed to use this guy's name in our office, so I'll just call him BM. In this cartoon, BM is being interrogated, and he's claiming he came up with his Ponzi scheme idea from the Social Security system. The truth is that current employees pay the Social Security tax, which is then handed directly over to retired folks who are collecting Social Security. We have over 150 million workers in the United States supporting those in retirement. This is one good reason why your Social Security benefit is likely secure. The payroll tax is 6.2% FICA, which stands for Federal Insurance Contributions Act, and 1.45% Medicare, also known as the hospital insurance. This 6.2% is limited to the first $118,500 of your paycheck, but the hospital insurance is not limited. You pay that on your entire salary, no matter how high. Added together, this 7.65% tax comes out of your check, and your employer also pays the same amount on your behalf. Guess what happens if you're self-employed? That's right, you get to pay both sides, or more than 15% in self-employment tax. In 2014, 1/3 of the government revenue came from this tax. With over 150 million workers employed, this benefit seems reasonably secure. The trust fund has collected more in payroll tax over the years than it has spent, and that excess makes up the OASDI, Old Age, Survivor, and Disability Insurance Trust Fund. But this money isn't in a vault, but rather saved up in special issue government bonds. In 2034, that stack of IOUs will be depleted and the trust fund is empty. No more extra money. The tax alone will continue to cover 75% of existing benefits, so at worst, if nothing else changes, and we all took a 25% decrease in benefits, the payroll tax alone could still pay the bill. Again, another reason to assume that the majority of your benefit is secure. The likelihood that the cut would impact existing retirees as compared to new ones seems low. But this is a politically charged issue, as the fix requires either cutting benefits or raising taxes, or both. The trust fund is still growing, but slowly. This is the latest information we have, and it shows almost $3 trillion in the trust fund. This is essentially the income statement for Social Security. Payroll taxes collected were $884 billion, spent $859 billion, leaves $25 billion to be added to the trust fund balance. But this surplus is about to change. The red line here at 12% shows income coming into the system. This is the 12% and change of payroll tax that is collected for Social Security from your paycheck. The blue line is the expense line, and we're about at that crossover point where the expense will be more than the income. In the area between the blue expense line and the red income line, we'll then be spending the IOUs, spending down the trust fund. Then the line drops straight down at about 2034, so the system can continue indefinitely as is from there out at 75% of benefits. When you hear that the Social Security system is going to run out of money, what that means is that the trust fund surplus will be gone, and we will no longer be able to pay 100% of current benefits at the current tax collection rates. What might it take to restore solvency? These are some of the suggested reforms. The first is to increase the maximum earnings that are taxed. If you make more than $118,500 per year, then every dollar over that is not taxed by that 6.2% payroll tax. For example, Peyton Manning, quarterback of the Denver Broncos, even though he recently took a pay cut to help out his team, still likely makes more than the $118,500 maximum taxable earnings. So every dollar that he makes over this is not taxed, but it could be. Another suggestion is to raise the retirement age, and we've done that before. once from 65 to 66, and then again recently to 67. With increased longevity, I'm guessing that this is one we'll probably see again. Also, we could lower benefits for future retirees, or we can use a different cost of living adjustment, or even give a smaller cost of living adjustment. Other things also come up, like privatization, where you would put money into a 401k type plan and invest it yourself in the markets. While this may be appealing from the give me the reins point of view, the risk is that you need to be a good money manager, and the markets don't always offer consistent returns. If you take big risks with your Social Security money and lose, where will you turn next? Another proposal is means testing, which says if you make more money, then you collect less Social Security. Truthfully, before I became a planner, I thought that this was how Social Security worked. I was actually surprised to learn that Warren Buffett gets a Social Security check. Not that he didn't earn it, I just didn't understand the rules. All of these are politically charged proposals, and there will need to be give and take on both sides to reach a solution. So we can either reduce benefits or increase revenues. On the left side, you've got benefit reductions, which include raising the retirement age, reducing the COLA, lowering benefits for future retirees, and means testing. And on the right, you have raising payroll taxes, increasing the maximum earnings subject to the Social Security tax. For example, we could tax all of Peyton Manning's paycheck. He might then argue that his benefit calculation should also go up, but that's a different issue. We could make all the benefits 100% taxable. Social Security benefits can be taxed as low as 0%, depending on your income, all the way up to 85%, but never 100% taxed. So the tax table actually gives you a break on the taxation of your Social Security check. And the last one there is to include all workers. There are certain jobs that do not participate in Social Security, like some state teachers, police, clergy, and they don't contribute to Social Security, so they're not part of the system like the rest of us. Contrary to popular lore, your government officials do participate in Social Security. While they may have other perks, they do not have their own Social Security system. Put a real twist in your next family game night and play the online Social Security game. The link is here at the bottom of this slide. I played it and fixed Social Security in about 5 minutes. Not sure what all the fuss is about, as it was quite easy to do. This game allows you to change different dials in the Social Security program. I changed the ones in red. Gradually raised the retirement age, and that fixed the deficit by 20%. And then I lowered benefits for future retirees by 5%, and that added another 31% into the pot. You can see the other changes that I suggested in red. This is an interesting tool that gives you a sense of how these various changes might impact the Social Security deficit. Speaking of which, there's an interesting theory on this idea of a deficit. Question: can your government really run out of money? Can Social Security really run out of money? The United States is a sovereign currency issuer. All governments are. This means we've given our government the power to create money. A dollar is just a promise from the government that they will accept it as payment for taxes due. They're the only ones who can legally create money, and there's really no financial problem with Social Security because your government is the issuer of the currency, and it can always make payments in dollars. We like to compare our government to our household, and we say things like, "Oh no, there's a budget deficit, and that is bad, and we shouldn't have one." But is it accurate to talk about our government as a household? The government can create money. Can you legally create money? Since the government is not revenue constrained, that does worry us at times because maybe the government will spend too much and be irresponsible. People won't work, inflation will take off, and everybody will just sit around and do nothing. This different perspective on money doesn't suggest that the government should supply us with our every whim, but it does point out that the government can't run out of money. The real question is, what do you want your government to do? And what do you not want them to do? This money viewpoint would suggest that as long as you're collecting your Social Security checks in dollars, you shouldn't worry about the government running out of money. You definitely should worry about how the government is using the money, but again, a different issue. I'd suggest that keeping a solid floor under our retirees who work their entire lives in this country is a great use of government spending. The bottom line for you is that the Social Security program is not likely to change out from under you while you're claiming. Probably will change for your kids. Take this happy couple. They're daydreaming about how they will spend their Social Security checks and maybe worrying about retirement. I think they should rest assured. There are lots of workers paying payroll tax. Your sovereign government can create money. You've worked hard your entire lives and you've paid into the system for many years, and the rules won't likely change out from under you. But this guy here, he should worry about sitting in a pasture in white pants. That's the end of this session of 10 slides in 10 minutes. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm your host, Doug Lindsey. If you need additional information, remember to go to our website, and please tune in to our next session. As always, contact us if you have questions.